a child often haunted by the thought of a ghost father. But yet, the man in me rises higher and higher, fueled by my relentless desires to climb the hill and see the mountains, and still continue to go even higher. Can't stop now. Must endure into the finish. I'll fly until the sky becomes my ground, and the universe becomes my limit. The earth becomes my turf, and every man, woman, child becomes witness to my walk, my story, my journey, and my life.
Wait a minute. It's your boy. January.
Money coming through, back up. Money coming through, back up. Money coming through, back up. Money coming through. See them two chicks, call that a double up. See that black range, call that a llama truck. Move them ropes, bitch, this ain't double dutch. 20 years career money, y'all niggas knocking up. Hot champagne, call that a bubble up. Chicks came. It's only popping here, they can come and watch us here. But they don't need to see no, away from the say later, what you gon' do now? Hope you're ready, cause I'm really about to put it down. Tell me never disrespect you. Ain't not tomorrow, but tonight I wanna spend it with you. Let's go down, make it last down. Start off so, I'ma be the I know, gotta say stop when the beat say go. There you go again, that voice is cool. Watch you make your girlfriend go. You've been waiting patiently. You've been winning where I be. The cousin rockets in the industry. Making this so that you can't sleep.
Welcome back. All right. So as I uncovered to y'all, Rob has a lot of stuff, right? Rob have a lot of stuff. He's made millions and millions and millions and probably billions now of dollars, because at the RIAA it matures every year, and depending on how many streams you have now, it matures every year. How y'all doing, everybody that's here? And for everybody that was over on the first live, I thank y'all for coming back. But let's jump back into it. We're not wasting no time like we did on the first one. We're going straight into it. So with that being said, now, but for now, you will understand why Don Russell wanted the ADATs. Because if you have the ADATs, you can negotiate. You can negotiate part of the masters. You would never get the full master, but if you have the ADAT, that means that you're either a producer, you're either a composer, or something on that album. So if you have the ADAT, and that's what Don Russell showed on the Bolski's channel, he showed y'all the ADATs, he showed y'all the pictures, he showed the trophy. All of that was stolen, and it is reported, and that's reported stolen out the studio. Rob has reported that stolen. So it's only a matter of time. However, as I was telling y'all, with the RIAA, you only make it on here. You only make it on here if you go gold or platinum. If you go wood, you will not make it on here. If you on wood, you do not make it here. Wood is 100,000 copies. The only way you make it on RIAA is if you gold or platinum. And on RIAA, I believe R. Kelly moved up, I think, 4 slots as the most all-time people that sell music ever in the world. So with that being said, I'm showing y'all just as one pocket for him. And just these 11 units, it's over 600 million or 60 point whatever million. But it's over anything that we have seen in our lives. Anybody that's on here, it's over anything that we have seen in our lives. So let's continue. Now that we finished the RIAA and stuff, let's continue. From that point, you start to see Don Russell pop on platforms. And you've seen him pop on platforms after the Walrus and her friend supplied Doug Anton with the stuff that him and his mama did and Towards Faith. And when Doug turned it in, things start just going slow motion. But you've seen him pop up on platforms. The first platform you've seen him hop on is Hollywood Next. And some of that recording that she playing is from her platform when Don was just talking. The next platform that you see him pop up on is the Blockbender. And on the Blockbender, this is what he said. Listen carefully. He's a fast talker. So listen to what he say carefully. And I'm going to ask a question right after this. But pay attention to what he say carefully. These are not my words. These are not Blockbender words. These is Don Russell's words himself. Let's go.
Well, that's Rob. He doesn't do any of that for Rob. I know who handles Rob's business. Matter of fact, it was me that was handling a majority of Rob's business at the time. Mm-hmm. Because Rob's business had intertwined into my business. So, but fast forwarding to answer the question, listen, there's a lot of folks in Rob County that has snaked him over down to something he would never believe. And unraveling the truths and asking a lot of questions about people who stole from him and things of that nature and prove them that stole. Nobody's even looking at, these girls are all smoke and mirrors. The Honda faces, the Ashanti McGee, the Phase One, they're smoke and mirrors. That's what they were focused on. The real intruders, the people who really did wrong by this man in his own camp. And even with all of them coming forth in accusation, everything that they're charging him for now is not based on him having sex with any of these girls. It's racketeering. It's trafficking. It's things that they're bending law to fit to have so that he does have a day in court. Nobody's prepared for that. And the only way they arrived at that conclusion is because of the people that's right around Rob. The managers that were stealing, the accountants that were stealing, the lawyers that were stealing. The ecosystem is they designed to steal all this money from them. And the moment he started investigating they stealing, they planted landmines. So when he step out, boom, they go off in his face. And that's what they're talking about. 5 or 6 people talking about every goddamn body. He was $900 million in the hole that should have been in his pocket where everybody stole from him. They gave him a weekly allowance. And that's what I investigated. So, of course, I'm going to have enemies because these motherfuckers know I know shit about their dirt. And we're preparing for that when we get to court. Everybody's thinking we should be prepared for Johanna's face. Fuck Johanna. She done done so much dirt in her years. Listen, I can depose her in 10 seconds and this shit would be over with. There's some motherfuckers like Cheryl Mack and a whole bunch of other names that don't nobody know exist in his life. And Barry Anderson and goddamn Linda and goddamn Joan and Diane and Cash. Don't know nobody looking at them folks. Those are the ones that need to be under scrutiny and investigation right now. Fucking Dana J, fucking trying to pay. They ain't done nothing. We can get them out the way real easy. What about the ones you stole? Made it seem as if he was doing all this crooked shit and just to get out of, just to throw him under the bus so he could come after them. That's what we're dealing with right now. So Dana don't know shit about none of that shit, so he needs to stop. He can tell us about these hoes all day long. All he's doing is distracting people from the real folks that have wronged this man and put him in that situation. And I wasn't one of them. I just came around the man a year and a half ago. The dirt has been done already. I mean, stop with that shit. Like, I came to help this guy. I've known him since our childhood. Seen off this man today. I spent over $100 grand and I definitely can show. And if you Google my ass, you can see that I've got a background where it's possible. I've done good things in Hollywood. My family owns a chain of restaurants. I own a tech company, president and CEO. Worked $1 million a couple of years ago for that tech company. So what am I doing by bringing my resources to the table to to help this man. And people like Dana that's throwing shade on that, they're not helping him. They're not helping that man by doing that shit. Rob told Green, I'm going to twist to Greenberg real quick. Rob told Greenberg, and I'll say this to him if he was after his fucking phone, and it's funny he spoke after his phone, but Dana, but not me. He took us in the studio in the back phone, me and you, Greenberg, and said, Greenberg, work with God. He's got the shit that you need to.
So did y'all hear that? He will answer the phone for Dana, but not for me. Then he said, Jahonda and Dana ain't do shit. Let's get them out the way. But Dana is in the way. Y'all heard that, right? Dana's in the way. Let's finish.
If this one of the case was a lot lesser, the tune was lesser charges. This other shit that became federal and all that. Rob let down Greenberg for that shit. Matter of fact, Greenberg was brought to Rob by Nicole, who had to give a Cosby case. She couldn't do it, so he stepped his ass in when it was lesser charges. He's not equipped to handle these motherfucking charges that I just robbed, which is why I brought in Melton off of that shit. And nobody else did. I flew out to California, met the man, brought him here twice, met him here.
And y'all heard that Will, Edie, and Ray is the one that brought Mesereau. And Ray was the attorney, but that stepped down because of Don Russell. But he was Rob's civil attorney. And Ray stepped down because of Don Russell. So let's finish. Let's finish.
Never said anything about the shit because Rob needs that level of attorney to put a blanket on this shit. He needs Andrew White, that level of a PR specialist to come in and blanket and control the fucking press. That's what he needs. Not these low level motherfuckers who ain't never had a dog fight at the top of the mountain. They can't even breathe with this shit. So for them to keep going out here and none, first of all, none of these motherfuckers get along. They don't communicate. They're not communicate with fucking Greenberg. Greenberg don't communicate with Ray. Ray don't communicate with nobody. Nicole, all them motherfuckers are long range just trying to sling bullets.
Now watch this. He said none of them get along. Well, everybody was getting along until he sent the Walrus and the Bed Bug and all them people in, and they start lying on Doug. Then they start lying on Greenberg. Then they start lying on Nicole. Now y'all see how the plan is starting to work. As long as he can build a case to say I'm connected to Robert, then Robert goes down. But let's finish.
Correct. And shit for their own good. They're not helping that man. And if this will cause them to do it, then guess what? Bring y'all ass together, have some strategy sessions. Hey, listen, if I had some fucking information that was valuable to just winning the hear them out. But Rob told that motherfucker to talk to me, and he won't do it. Why? Why is it that he won't sit down and get the information that I have that nobody focused in on? We don't want the world to know. I just want them to know.
Wait. But you heard him say he want to talk to them, and he just want, and he don't want the world to know, but he want them to know. Keep that in your mind, because before he said that, he said he's not going to give no information to the lawyers because they ain't competent to deal with it. So you see what I'm saying about a fast talker? He'll say one thing and then ease something in and then hoping that you're not paying attention. But see, you can't do that with me. You can't do that with me. So with that being said, we see what's going on. We see what's being said. So let's finish.
Trying to let the other side know about what we come up with that one up to finish, man. I want him to have it so he can use it to defend this man. And if he decides it's no good, it's a fine too. But Rob asked that motherfucker to do that shit. And he still to this day will not fucking come out and get him so shocked in the dark and shit that we did. If you want to know what they did Rob's motherfucking tax problem, how come they did? I'm sorry, my mother did that shit. We eliminated those tax problems.
Listen, do you want to know who eliminated Rob tax problems? I did. Excuse me. My mother did. That's what he said. Now, this interview was a year and a half ago. But when you see in the report that come from a rebuttal from the federal government, you see they have a $3.5 million lien on R. Kelly. So how did your mother alleviate the taxes if the federal government still got a lien on it? Let's finish.
He's not going to have no issue with the IRS now. Can't nobody else come up and tell you the process that we took him to eliminate some fucking problem.
Now watch this. Listen to what he say he have.
I guarantee you, they can't show you the signature, the passport, the driver's license, all that shit that I have my possession. It's only portal. It's only contract. I have all of that shit. And I'm not linked any of it because you know what? I wanted to go into the hands of the right person. Not these low life motherfuckers who are trying to touch you.
I'm glad you said that, Don. You said you have the contracts, the driver's license, the passport. You have it all. I'm glad you said that, Don. So that means, ladies, when y'all are on Hangouts, on WhatsApp, and y'all get these fucked up ass messages from a R. Kelly imposter. Feel me where I'm going. And you get this shit from a R. Kelly imposter. I know the Don Russell followers gonna be mad about this. You get this from a R. Kelly imposter, right? And you see stuff like this, and I'm gonna tell you, I thank God for every woman, for every female who really loves Robert, who trusts me enough to not disclose their information, that sent me these documents. I want to thank y'all because we in a fight for Robert, nobody else. So you just heard Don Russell say he's in possession of all of this, of what I'm going to show you. This is Robert's passport. And you just heard Don Russell say that he's in control of it, that he got it all. This is the receipts of the TD Bank. Hold on. Nope. I don't want to show that yet. This is the Discover card, but that Don Russell had people thinking that Trania Davis was Steve Greenberg's secretary. And you see what's going on. You see what's going on. Somebody claiming to be Mr. Eubanks. You see what's going on. You see what's going on. You see what's going on. Whenever a woman asks for him to show proof, this is what Don sent. You see what's going on. Wood Forest Bank, you see it. Bank of America, you see it. So then Don say, Google me. Well, this young fella right here sold Don a dime bag of weed. And when he sold Don a dime bag of weed, Don lied to the dude and went to the feds on his ass. Now the young fella is doing life behind bars, all behind this. Let's look at number 9. Don L. Russell testified that in 2004, he was arrested for possession of cannabis, which is marijuana. At the police station, he told officers that he had information about the May 7, 2002 shooting. Wait a minute. They lock you up for a dime bag of weed. Why is you talking about a shooting? So if you did this to somebody that you know will kill you, what make you think you wouldn't do what you're doing to Robert? This is why they hate me. Because I sit back, I will take all the ridicule, then I'll come back with content. So then it says, eventually he spoke with some detectives. Russell told the detective that on September the 6th, 2002, he and defendant were driving around looking to buy marijuana. Russell had not seen defendant for a while and asked him where he had been. In response, defendant said he had been laying low because he and Aaron had been involved in the shooting. Defendant related to Russell that he caught somebody who shot at him earlier. And when, him and his friend, they seen the guy, He looked at them. They start shooting. Why would you snitch? And this is documented paperwork. Why would you snitch for a dime bag of weed? I don't feel like reading the whole thing, but if y'all glance at it, y'all can see the people that's involved with the shooting. You see the cross-examinations and all that. Come on. So if they picked you up for a dime bag of weed and you snitched on that brother, what make you think when they talk about giving you life, you ain't going to paint a picture on R. Kelly? You said out your own mouth you wanted him to remain behind bars because that's where he belonged anyway. Now, here's where I call fucked up responsibility, because you will have people that say, oh, Bruce a crackhead and this and this and this. But Bruce was living in the house. Bruce talked to Don. Bruce talked to June. And that was relayed to him. And you heard how Bruce got mad even when he thought about it. So make this make sense. Y'all not going to believe Bruce, who was there, versus Don Russell, who's just trying to make sure he good and rob all of R. Kelly supporters for their funds so that way he can get a lawyer. Make this make sense. He's on his third public defender. Every time he go up for plea, he fires a public defender. I wonder why. Stay tuned, and we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Stay tuned. So then from that point, we're going to speed up. Dana J breaks the story about the AMI situation. And you know, Don Russell jumped on there and said, that's not true. That's not true. They lying. They lying. But then when I showed the report ain't say they were lying. And then he kind of backed off a little bit again. So then from there, we go to a lady that all of us loved at one point. Pay attention. We're now entering into the world of phases, the next level.
The people who all benefited from it. Even the women got pissed because they didn't get as much money as they were. That's what happened. Then the lender got greedy and took the majority of the money. The women walked away with 50, then up their life for 15 minutes, and now they back to work again, and now they put some more money. So how can we get another check? We said, I sent my niece, I sent my cousin, get them this time. That's all it was.
Yeah. Why do you think Hankerson they hadn't reached out to Hankerson or had him to come to Homeland Security, had him indicted on anything? What do you think that's about?
Well, I mean, one, Hankerson, he knows he's crafty. He's a crafty veteran. I mean, and he knows.
How can you speak on Barry and you don't know him? That's my thing. How can you speak on Barry Hankerson and you don't know him? Mind you, he keeps saying that him and Rob grew up together. Well, let's break this down. How can that be? Rob is 8 years older than Don Russell. So when Don Russell and them was tap dancing, Rob and them was MGM trying to get trying to get their album out. Let's take it a step further. While Don Russell and them was tap dancing at 15, Rob was like 23. I do believe that's the time that Rob was in LA messing with and Demetrius in him. So here, y'all get what I'm saying? Your story is not adding up, because ain't nobody in Chicago at 23 messing with no 15-year-old or letting them hang with them. Why? But they might have seen each other through passing, but they might have met each other at talent competitions. But that's it. That's it. Because if that's the case, then you would have known about the twins. And when somebody asked him about the twins, he didn't know nothing about it. So wait a minute. How was you around Rob and you don't know the twins? And the twins from Chicago. Everybody know them. But let's finish.
Inside out, and he has you know, he's a part of the Nation of Islam. He has a little protection on a certain organization that he's a part of, but they actually did expose him. But you got to realize, who would really trip out if Barry Hexton went down? That's not going to sell 1 million papers and have people all over the internet. R. Kelly been trained a year now with this lawsuit and these cases, and people are still turning up in record numbers to come see this shit. You put Barry Hexton out there, who's going to care about that? It's not big business or big news to take Barry Hexton down. It's big business to take R. Kelly down.
Wow. So you guys, thank you for being here again. Hit the like buttons if you will. I'm going to open the phone lines here for you guys to ask questions. Moderators, I only see one. I don't know what happened to my moderators, but that's okay. April, thank you for being here. We want everybody to keep it respectful. We don't want to block anybody unless it's just too disrespectful. If you call in, just keep it respectful. We're going to let Don answer some questions for you guys. So the phone line is open. The number is down at the bottom if you can see it, but it's 346-257-5367. Again, that's 346-257-5367. It says, Don says he's here to help Robert, but some things he say, where did they go? I give him the side eye.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's it. Let's take this call. Thank you for calling Phases. What's your question? Who am I speaking with and what's your question?
How you doing, Phases? My name is Malcolm. And my question is, I don't know if I'm supposed to bring up the Lynn situation, but my thing is, Rob married her and he had the marriage license. How did Brian get it? And why also Demetrius Smith is not being charged there? He went and got the license, and the person that gave Demetrius the license is not being charged with it either. That's my question.
Did you hear him, Don?
I don't know. I'm not. I mean, if Demetrius did it, he should be charged. I don't know about Demetrius. I mean, maybe it's not big business to take Demetrius down as long as he's cooperating with the police. But I mean, that's something that you need to put to the lawyers. I would write a letter to Rob's lawyer asking him why is it that Demetrius Smith is not standing trial alongside of Rob. I mean,
pay close attention to what he's saying. It's not big business to take Demetrius down, but it's big business to take Rob down. Let's see how many times that's being said. So far, we're looking at 3. Let's continue.
All this stuff right here on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, so he should be involved with the case too. He should have been a warrant should have been issued for his arrest. But,
right. Did you hear the caller?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for calling. Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, people, bring Demetrius Smith up a lot. He was actually saying publicly, I went and got the document, I set it up or whatever, and I did this and I did that, and they're just wondering why. Caller that hung up, we were on another call, so go ahead and call back in. I have a question here. If wellness checks were done, why are they able to state that he kidnapped them?
I have no clue. I mean, that's
Can you see it? It's in the chat, and I can't scroll down.
If wellness checks
were done, why are they?
Nothing was found inappropriate. Exactly. I mean, that's that's exactly the point. Like I said on the other blogs, they went through his house, his studio, his storage with a fucking fine tooth, with a pencil, and all that. Just looked into everything. They didn't show any areas in there that made it seem as if some bondage or some foolishness was going down. I mean, so I don't know. I mean, the media, like I said, the media has an agenda. Period. They have an agenda, and part of this.
Is it the media that have an agenda, Don, or is it you that have an agenda? Let's finish.
Now it's helping with their agenda. That's why I said we have to unite. We have to unite against people. Stop believing what the media is saying. I mean, if they want to take something now, we all believe it, and then what? I mean, we just
I'm with Nene on this one. Who wrote the letter to intimidate one of the witnesses when they tell us Rob can't write or read or spell? Like, who did it? Why are they saying Rob is intimidating witnesses?
There was no letter written to intimidate any witness. This is what was sent out. You see what that says?
It says, I do not accept this contract. I do not consent to these proceedings. He signed it. That's it. And then we sent to the lawyer and to the Justice Department the stuff that refuted what she said. These are the pictures of her that we sent. Text messages of her that we sent. And basically what we were doing was showing people how she lied and said that he forced her to call her daddy one of her text messages. She's doing that on her own. She flew to fucking New York on her own. She said it in her text messages. How she lied and said he did this, but she did these things on her own.
Checkmate. So people gonna say, if Rob done not him, how did he get the pictures? Easy. While Rob was recording, and you could take his phone, and he probably sent them messages to himself, and then he went and printed them out. That's easy. So let's finish.
They dropped the damn case. He never made it to court. I mean, so there was no such thing as this is what media and the other side is saying, that it was some threatening messages. It wasn't a threat.
The media and the other side. And then he said they dropped the case, but the case is still going on. So I guess he was barking on Robert fans being dumb and not doing necessary research. But if you pay attention to the upper right-hand screen right here, I'm going to bring this down a little bit. I'm going to diminish me, and I'll make the generals bigger. Pay attention to who you see in this chat. Sandra Dominique, a.k.a. Nisimo. Make it make sense. Could this been a setup all along? So let's finish. Because she's saying, you're so right, Don. Let's see. Because she never met Robert. So how would she know if Don is so right? Not unless there has been phone conversations between Sandra and Don way before we even knew about it. Let's see.
Aware of his legal rights based on the UCC Code 1-308 that he does not have to consent to any offer or any subpoena to court, which is an invitation. All you have to do is write that on front of it. All you Americans look at that too, because y'all might have a day in court. Look up the UCC Code 1-308. Understand your rights. It's an invitation to contract with the court. You can't not answer it. You can't not show up. You have to do this. You have to write this on the front, send it in, and that eliminates the contract with the court. That's all he did. And based on the evidence, and with it, they said, you know what? He got a point. She's doing this and lying and saying he did it. Well, you're not going to move forward with the case. And then they dropped it. It was printed on TMZ that they dropped it on 129, what was that? 1918. TMZ did a full article, a full page on it stating that the case was dropped against Faith Biden in New York based on the information.
Right. Okay, we have another call on the phone. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Tiffany. I'm calling from Ohio.
Hi, Tiffany. Thank you for calling. What's your question?
I just have a statement. I don't know if anyone else knows this, but I see a pattern with the ladies. They talk about how good R. Kelly or Rob was to them in the beginning. It seems like there's a line that's always crossed, maybe a loyalty line. Like the hair braider, she said that it was really good to her, treated like a sister, and provided her housing and clothing. But she did something where one of the other guys engaged with her or overstepped her boundaries.
Now watch this. The caller's talking about the hair braider. Why is he showing faith? Make that make sense. Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because if you could show proof that you are connected to Robert in any kind of way, guess what? The RICO sticks. Now, I know y'all got questions, but I'm going to reveal it real soon. Hold on.
That's where the relationship turned for me. So I'm just wondering if there's just that, we don't know how it is to be, as everyday people, to be celebrities. If there's that, that element that changes him, because we know him as R. Kelly being on stage, being fabulous and big, but also when he sung to his daughter Joanne, I can see a different side, like a vulnerability in him. He's human. He's a person. He's not just the stage presence that we know.
Exactly.
And so, it just, I feel my heart goes out for him, and I just want people to see the difference, see the difference in who he is and what they perceive him to be, and give him an opportunity.
Right.
That's it.
Thank you so much, caller. We agree with you. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. That makes a good point. People, they're looking at R. Kelly, the stage person, but R. Kelly, Robert Sylvester Kelly, is human. He's a human being, and he's not being treated as such. So I can understand that. Lady Earth, he answered the reason that he can't go on a big platform earlier and do an interview. You just can't. People are just not talking about Rob or wanting to take the chances right now publicly. Whether it's because of their check, don't want to mess up their money or whatever. So
that's a lie. Big outlets was dying to get somebody on there to speak on behalf of R. Kelly. He don't want to go on a big platform because he know what's going to happen to him on a big platform. But let's finish.
That's the reason why. Let's take this call. Thank you for calling Phases the Next Level. Who am I speaking with? Where are you calling from? Hello?
How you doing, Phases? This is Cash.
Hi, Cash. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay.
I got a phone call that was on here, so.
Pay attention to facial structures.
Since this was the place that I wanted to call in so I can apologize to him.
Aww, that's so sweet. Don, do you hear the phone call?
Who is it?
This is Cash, and she's calling to say that when you guys were here before on Phases, it blew up, and she wanted to come back knowing that you were here to apologize for that phone call.
No problem. I accept your apology. We've always been cool. I mean,
oh,
I'm there,
Now check it. Listen to what he said. I accept your apology. We always been cool. Here's my question. Cash went on 3 platforms dogging Don. Why all of a sudden you want to call and apologize? Maybe because Larry came public and said somebody about to go to jail. So Cash said, okay, let me go backtrack this shit, Don. I apologize. Then if y'all remember, she came on my platform like, Dana, you released that recording and that could have got me killed. And because Don set my grandmother tree on fire and he had people following me. But you see how Don flipped it and said, Angelo did it. I got it for y'all. I'm going to break it down for y'all tonight. I'm not going to rest until we finish this series tonight. This series. Let's go.
This whole situation.
Yeah, it's just a lot of confusion going on, as I'm pretty sure you guys all see with everything.
Right.
It's a lot. And it's a lot of threatening going on behind the scenes and a lot of different things going on where people are being backed into corners, myself being one. So I just wanted to
checkmate. She said people are being backed into corners, myself. I wonder why.
That's all.
Well, thank you so much, Cash, for calling. We do appreciate that, okay? And he said he accepts your apology. I guess you can hear him. Can you hear him okay?
Yeah.
No, I couldn't.
You couldn't hear him. Yeah, he said that he accepts your apologies. Y'all have always been cool. He's not tripping. So thank you.
All right. Well, y'all continue.
Okay. Have a good evening. Okay. Bye-bye. Now, I thought that was a lady. That's ladylike. That was very sweet for Cash to call in and apologize where she felt she was wrong. Because whenever you were here before, Don, it was a screaming match. We couldn't hear y'all because y'all was kind of screaming, but that was cool. That was cute. Cool.
Yeah, no, I mean,
so anyway, the phone lines are still open. They said a nice beard. Give me some growling tips. They like your beard.
I just drink it every day and it keeps it cool. That's all. Earth. My mom gave it to. She's a vegan. Earth power. That's all.
Oh, that was sweet. Okay. So let's see what else. You guys, the phone line is open 356-257-5367. Do we have more questions for Don? I have.
Pay attention to what Laverne Dickinson said. Rob needs you to be a character witness for him. With all the information you say you have, he can be set free. Why haven't that happened so far? But let's finish.
If you don't, let me get to him. We talked about so they want to know about your tape conversation with Tim Savage. Let's take this call and then let's talk about that conversation.
Okay.
Thank you for calling Phases the Next Level. Who am I speaking with? Where are you calling from? And what is your question?
Hey, I just wanted to know, how did the prosecutors find out that R. Kelly used the what are they called? The people's cell phone.
The staff's phone, personal phone. Yeah.
Yeah, like, how did they know that? And then how are they like getting access to his messages? Because the lawyers said he don't have messages in Tasha case. They posted messages. And then what else did they say he did? They said he did like somebody put something. Try to send in something.
Well, that a lawyer that's not on the case brought a letter in and it had legal written on it so that they couldn't read it. They like smuggled a letter into him. So Don, they want to know, how is that possible? Why are they saying this happened? And if he actually used that phone, how did they find out that he did it?
Entrapment. It's entrapment.
I think it's a setup.
Trying to improve a case. They don't have it. I mean, they're built.
Watch this. I've been telling y'all that Brian Nix is the one that did that. Now you heard certain people like Cassandra and Renee tell me that I was wrong, that I was lying. I told y'all Brian Nix, the one that smuggled that letter in. Brian Nix is also Don Russell's civil rights attorney. Let's listen to what Don say.
The case, they're trying to say that he, what he's doing is he's fighting.
What up, Bo Cove?
He's not doing a great job at it. Steve Greenberg, that is, and Doug. So he's forced to use whatever means he can to get information and try to communicate with the outside world so he can gather information himself. And he shouldn't have to do that. But the lawyer there's only one lawyer that could have leaked that's on his visitors that's not actually representing him, but his name is on he's a lawyer that can do that. And that would have been Brian Nix. Because what Rob has written letters through him to give to the outside world, like myself and whomever, just relaying, I love you, thanks for the support, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Remember what we talked about, and keep pushing the products. When this thing is over, I'll be out, different world, different scene.
Did you hear it, caller? I know it's kind of hard on this end, but
Yeah, I couldn't hear it. You said outside.
yeah. So basically, his answer was that really, basically, when it gets to the bottom line, it's a setup. They feel like it's.
Oh no, Phases. Your job as a journalist was to repeat what he said. Let's finish.
Side job, to getting anything they can get on Rob. They want to. This is alleged.
Right.
They-
They probably spoke to guard to
Right. To see if he would go ahead and.
so much more on. He gotta be smarter than that. Like, I was so confused when I read that. I'm like, did he really fall for okie doke? I gotta know, like, that's the reason why he's in the situation he's in now, because he's trusted too many people. Like, you should have known. Like, I don't know. I feel like that was really a setup.
Yeah, I do too. So, and that's just my opinion. I feel like you do. Like, why are you allowing him? But and then they want to turn it or flip it and say that's just showing that R. Kelly can manipulate anybody. Like he said, bring me your phone, I need to use it. So I think it was a setup. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for calling, caller.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye. So Don, the question about Tim Savage, they want to know what your conversation was, what that was all about. And why did you also, so two-part question. What was your conversation with Tim Savage about? And the second question is, do you think, are you telling the truth? Or do you stand on saying that R. Kelly slept with the mothers and it was all a setup to get the girls to be able to get a career? So go ahead and answer those if you will.
I had several conversations in the beginning with Tim Savage and Angelo Clary, to be frank, because we had always been trying to negotiate a truce. Tim was coming on like wildfire. I mean, he was just always attempting to, get in contact with Rob for business. He was hurting financially. And we were trying to set up a date where, they would get together over the holidays, and it always turned into a business transaction. Money, and at this time I didn't know that Rob had, been intimate with the parents, with both mothers.
What mother called it?
It was always a conversation that had.
Whoa! Anybody that's a friend and your friend is fighting for his life, why would you throw fire on a goddamn house fire? Or should I say, why would you throw fuel on a house fire? He just said, I didn't know that he slept with both mothers. Wait a minute. Even if it's true, why would you spread the fire with that? That means these parents got to come out with a whole bunch of more heap load of stuff. Now y'all see how the R. Kelly saga got so big? Because of the small conversations and people throwing stuff out there that make stuff explode. Let's finish.
It was only we get together, we got a camera there, and he produces a record. Well, he does this or he does that, and then we can say the reason he wasn't doing it because the record was being produced. Or they wanted the filming for a reality show. There's always some business deal that they can work out that they want to.
Now pay attention. Sorry, y'all. Pay attention to the chat up top to the upper right. You will see Nisi Moo, aka Sandra Dominique, say very respectful. How in the heck is that very respectful that he just said that Rob slept with both of the ladies that he loved mothers? They're looking at this. So how do you think that's going to make them feel? Let's finish.
It's a meeting, getting together with the family to show the world that it was, everything was cool. So there's several conversations. I mean, I don't know if you're talking about one of the tape conversations. That was him saying, I guess then he found out his wife had slept with Rob, and he was done, and he was trying to speak with other folks that I know of at the time. And matter of fact, it was Cash. I mean, honestly, she was the one that was letting me know this stuff on a daily basis, and he was coming.
So now you throw the person that's giving you information under the bus. It was Cat. I don't get it. Listen, I done showed y'all he's a document snitch. Now he's a YouTube snitch. What makes you think? Okay, let's go here. I showed y'all he's a document snitch for $10. He's a YouTube snitch for just a little publicity. What makes you think he won't overtly snitch or lie or apply or extra lie to save himself for what he did to mess Robert up? Unless it was all a plan orchestrated by the feds to get Robert, but now they got Don as a player in this to make sure Robert never see the light of day. Let's go here. How is it that Avenatti can say Robert will never see the light of day? But then you have Avenatti, who always ate at the Long Beach Roscoe's Chickens and Waffles. Well, who's the person that works there? Don Russell. Make it make sense. I'm going to put it all together for y'all. Let's finish. Oh, allegedly. Let's finish.
So damn strong. I'm giving her play. I'm like, listen, play it like this. Don't do this. Make sure you do that. So she was the one that actually gave me a lot of the information from their one-on-one conversations because she represented them at one point. She was at one point. So the conversation I was having was him saying, I'm done with my daughter, done with my wife, and all this. And it was like, Whatever you're going to do, you're the man in your house, you can fix that shit. If you want to fix it. If you don't want to fix it, of course, you're not going to fix it. And that's essentially what I said. Then he goes behind and said that I threatened him and all this shit. You know, everybody heard the recording. I was trying to talk him down from doing something that would have been further more foolish, especially for what was going on in his life at the time. And I also let him know, listen, if you keep going forward with that, we have evidence on our side that we're going to launch that's going to put you in a negative light. But cut it out. Like, stop doing this. What is this about? And that's what he told me it was right. I said, well, listen, I can hook you up with TMZs and folks like that who pay you $a few dollars for your story, but you can't go bashing R. Kelly. You can go in as a mother of a daughter who's working with him and all that. And it's a whole other story you got to take. You can't go bashing him, though. And it got out of hand. I mean, you know what I mean? So, and when I found out later, which was the reason why are these folks not backing down? Why is Tim and Angelo going so damn hard? And then when I found out from people at the venue what happened with so he didn't smash the wife
and here we go with the narrative again. You see how he doubled back and said it again. He making sure that the fire is flamed. Or was he sending a signal to the other side to say, listen to what I got to say. Check this out.
The actual venue where the concert was, and she was backstage with Rob 3 hours with the picture of herself, came out sweaty and fixing the clothes up and shit.
Just a moment.
She got a daughter that was Tim Salmon. George,
right.
And then the next one was Clary. I mean, she was flying out here to see Rob without a daughter at times. I mean, so when I found out these things, it was like, oh, and I asked Rob, I said, Rob, did you have a different type of relationship with Joyce's mom? He didn't say shit. Which normally he wouldn't say shit. Then when I asked him after I get to ask him, at 35, I did the math. I got on the calculator. I'm gonna get one out now. And I said that's 30 years. That's 365 days in a year. That's over 10,000 fans. This man, 10,000 days of him being famous. 10,000 days of him being famous. Now, he's been all around the world with his fame. He's got millions of fans. Every concert, damn this show is sold out for you. 10,000 fans. So what we know for a fact, 10,000 days of being famous. So what we know for a fact is he's got millions of fans that show up and willing to do whatever for this man, fanatics and fans. We do know that he likes sex. Now, look at the songs that he wrote. We all danced to him. We all did everything to him. He's great at some sex songs. So he has to be great. From one thing, you become great because your mind is one thing or you've got a lot of experience. So he wrote the songs based on a lot of his experiences. And being hypersexual, I'm not, he is. He probably hit 3 or 4 women a day on his times when he had sex. So we can take 10,000 days times 3, 4 women a day. That's about 30,000 women right there. Now, we're going to cut that shit in half and just say 15,000, right? 15,000 women that this man has been with in his career. And just for shits and giggles, let's cut it in half again and say 7,500 women. We know it's going to be more than that. The 7,500 women that he's been with, a high number. 50 women have come forward and has done this shit to me. Well, my rating is better than fucking Apple. That's less than the 1% of the women he's been with in his career that have come out and said this shit. Now we can connect every last one of these women to each other. So that does that make him a monster now? If he's been with 7,000, we broke the number down just to make it respectable. Let's just say it's 1,000 women, and 50 of them come forward. His percentage is great, but that's not a large percentage of women. He's not a monster because 50 conspired against him. And let's look at these women. They all have tainted backgrounds. These are not real fucking women out here going for pleasure. He ain't Beyonce. This is the hood chicks that he let come to his Friday night party. They got access to him. They got a piece of the Kellz and they didn't want to fucking leave. Period. They told him after he got the cooch, oh yeah, you know what? I got a cell phone bill, let's do it. And I need a car. And he's like, hold on, you can get this chicken. You can sit down here and watch the studio time, but come on. So that's not a monster. That's what the media is portraying him to be by glorifying these groupies and stuff that have come to his events and targeted him. Those are the real predators. He was on stage. They came to get at him and they backed him. They came to him. They came to him. They were the predators, not that guy. He's a talented individual who went out there.
Yeah, like Yeah. So I have a phone call. Thank you for calling Faces Next Level. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, Faces. This is Bree. This is the first time I've called in. I have a question for Don.
Okay.
I wanted to say that first and foremost, I watched Don interview.
I guess it started buffering at that moment. So
just
with that being said, this concludes part 2. Nope, we got 5 minutes. Hold on. Dana, you trying to end it early. Nope. Let's continue.
Comparing the two of them, they had immense work ethic that put them on the grandest stages of all. And us as a ethnicity, as a Black people, should really appreciate these guys a lot more than we're doing, and how we're not honoring what they have brought as far as Rob is, what he's meant to us, because there's too many folks that just are not coming together in the right way to represent the greatness that he gave us, which was his talent, his gift to sing. So with that being said, I'm gonna dive into it, but I'm gonna take a slightly different approach. It's a lot of questions people are asking me that I've already answered, and they can visit other platforms and they can do the research. I've said it already. No sense of me keep breaking the book by re-saying something that's there already as the stone. I think we need to think about how we move forward as a people, united to collectively change the narrative, to put our voices, let our voices be heard about the injustices that are being done to one of our great icons.
So I have a question. If he's saying that on Phases, why did he sick his cronies to try to excommunicate the people that was trying to bring everybody together from the jump? Maybe it was a motive behind everything. Maybe, just maybe, it was a motive. Let's sit back and watch. Let's see.
And they're following up, promoting the narrative that's so negative right now. That's really, it really makes you kind of disgusted about being an American in times like these, because here it is, this man is on trial for his life. They are really torturing him. I mean, putting him in a position that like they got everything they need to just kill him pretty much. And people,
how did they get everything they need to pretty much kill him? These are the questions that nobody was asking. These are the questions that Phases wouldn't let me come on her platform and ask this man. These are the questions that nobody wanted me to come on their platform and ask. And then one thing I will say, Blockbender said, if I can get you and Dana, he said, no, I ain't doing it. I said, I'll do it. Because if you can answer him in my face, and we can be on camera, and you mean what you say and say what you mean, ain't no need of turning back. Because I'm going to ask the questions that nobody know. Let's finish.
And about bickering and gossiping shit on these blog shows, and it's not doing nothing. It's not moving the needle forward to put anybody in a position to where we can say, because of these efforts, he may be free.
Well, wait a minute, Don. If you're saying nothing that nobody's doing is moving the needle in efforts to free him, right? And you're saying, Don, that maybe they can say that he needs to be free. I'm going to stop there. What happened to the paperwork that you said you had to free him? If you presented that paperwork that you claimed that can free him, if you presented that paperwork, then we wouldn't have to go on the blogs. Then it wouldn't be no this side and this side. It wouldn't be no arguments, because he'd be free because you gave the paperwork. I need questions answered. And the answers that I need is, why is Robert still sitting for 2 years if you have what it takes to free him? Let's finish. Hold on. I did something wrong. Hold on.
Let's not talk about you get on a plane flying to Chicago. That's unrealistic for a lot of folks. But if you took the same money, bought 10 signs, and got 10 friends, and went down to the local radio station and said, we ain't playing you if you ain't playing Kellz, That's a big thing, and record that.
He said, don't fly to Chicago. So I get it. He don't want the presence in Chicago to be seen, but he wants y'all to individually go to the radio station. How productive is that?
Social media, let people know how you feel about this man. That they're casting away. I mean, without his due process, without his just cause, and then beyond that, they're promoting the narrative from one side. It's a shame that we can't go to the local radio station to call in and have a conversation about how we feel about this scenario, because they won't take the call. There's no topics, there's no station that's geared towards hearing millions of fans who have a voice and they want to hear and talk about it and discuss what's going on with him, R. Kelly, there. And where do we go? We have reduced the...
That's going on with him. My mom always told me that you can mask how you feel, but for so long, but inadvertently it will slip out. And as you listen to him talk, you hear the slippage. Let's finish.
YouTube and stuff like that. So why is it that we can't call anybody else?
So that would answer the question, I guess, to Miss Dior. She wants to know, why is it that you're going to YouTube, coming to us YouTubers, this smaller platform, rather than going to larger platforms to get that out? And I do understand that, like, people are not wanting to risk, their business to talk about it. So can you just kind of, that sounds like that's the answer to her question.
Well, I mean, it's not even about, right now, it's a topic of discussion. Everybody in this world is entitled to have an opinion. Freedom of speech is part of what, the Constitution in this country was built on. They come here for that. So if my opinion is based on what I've experienced, maybe different from yours, I'm entitled to have my opinion.
Now you're talking in riddles, Don. You said you ain't going to larger platforms because they ain't trying to hear it. Now, all of a sudden, when it's regurgitated back, now everybody got a title of opinion. Make it make sense. I'm going to do what nobody else going to do. And the more the Don Russell crew attack people, the more I'm going to bring forth great content showing how this man have no connection with Robert Kelly, but he's part, and he's the one that single-handedly filling the RICO Act. Let's finish.
So, yeah, I have went to the bigger platforms, but the problem with that now is there is a journalistic agenda, and that is hang R. Kelly. Period. Hang any black man that's done some great things, and let's destroy his character and his brand and take his music, and they're making millions off of it overseas and everywhere else.
Oh, hang R. Kelly, and they making millions off of his money overseas. I want y'all to write that down. Don Russell said on Phases Next Level, hanging R. Kelly and making millions off of his music overseas. It's a reason why I said, remember that, because in part 4, you're going to hear why I said that.
They continue to destroy him locally in this country. So yeah, it's just like what happened to him with the double surgery. I went to the TMZ with that before Greenberg even went to him ever. Greenberg knew about it the day it happened, but he didn't go to him at all. He didn't say nothing. He didn't address the fans or any of that.
My question is, why are you going to TMZ, Don? TMZ don't have nothing good to say about Robert, so why would you go to TMZ? Make it make sense.
I found out I went to it and they lost the article, and they didn't even give me credit for that. And it's like, I don't want credit for any of that.
Oh, they didn't give me credit for that. Who else on YouTube have we heard about somebody wanting credit? I'm going to fill it out for y'all. Let's go.
So it can be identified as somebody who's getting information directly from the source, because they made it appear Greenberg did that, which was, I don't care who got it, but the fact of it is people out here questioning whether or not I'm connected to this man, whether I'm working with him, and things like that would kind of condone or kind of co-sign that I am. Did nobody else know about that? How did I get the information? And they'll take it and flip it like Greenberg made that statement when it was me that they called the first time and asked me, and I said, no, it was a broken foot that he sustained back from kicking the wall after he heard about the Joycelyn incident, which that did happen. He broke his toe. And then I found out that he got snatched up out of there, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe they took him to have surgery. But when I found out directly from the horse's mouth that no, it wasn't surgery, they snatched me out and operated on me for 2 hernias that I had complained about a few months back.
Right.
And they finally did it, and they did it in the fashion that they didn't want it getting leaked out, which I understand that makes sense. But it scared them.
Oh, you want to tell the people that?
I mean, here it is, they snatched him out.
Very scary.
Yeah.
He did not have time to heal in any infirmary.
I can make it so
they
they
operated and threw him back in the field. And I'm not saying that it was that hard. I don't want to say that it's that harsh because I don't want the MCC to think that we were attacking them. We understand that they have to use special procedures when it comes down to something of R. Kelly's magnitude. But it's like right now, people are trying to figure out who to listen to. And my whole agenda, and people like, the Karen Wimbushes of the world, everybody like that, are pressing unity. We want to bring people together.
Wait, did y'all just hear what he said? The people like the Sharon Wimbush is pressing unity. This was before Sharon even came out and said that she was talking to Don. So now that he has said that, and I didn't even know he said that, but now I'm catching it. Now the Sharon Wimbush like him, the people like Sharon Wimbush are pressing unity. So Sharon Wimbush is still pressing unity. But nope, because then I'm going to jump ahead. I want y'all to write that down. The Sharon Wimbushes is pushing unity. I want y'all to write that down. Because in part 3, and we're going to get to that. Let's finish.
With obtainable goals and missions and action plans that we can actually launch to start fighting back versus just sitting on here for 3 or 4 hours talking on these blog shows and things. Let's put some action in place. Let's do some things like I said, hitting the next club, talking to people, getting interviews, putting them out there, people who have great stories about this thing. Where are those stories at? I mean, why is that not good news for TMZ about the boys club and the women's club that R. Kelly paid for that they took his name off of recently, because they couldn't associate him, but they took his checks. You know what I'm saying? Why is that not being published? Why is that?
Right, because for me, because for me, I feel like if he paid for all that stuff and you were taking his checks, if you take his name off, then give him his money back. Give him his money back if they didn't. I put out a video earlier today, and I'm like you, Don, like we need to stop all the mess, and we need to listen to everybody's take, and come together and find some kind of peace, some kind of happy medium to be able to report, to be able to do things that are effective, that will impact positively this case some kind of way, do our part. But we can't do our part when there's so much hatred going on. So, but I think that the people that are not a part of that hatred and not a part of all the mess, then maybe we, continue to do what we're doing in a positive way, because we need to find what's impactful. So that leads me to my question for you, Don. There's a lot of people with backlash at you for coming out saying the things that you're saying. And I'm just going to tell you from Faye's point of view, I feel like I haven't heard anything that's been against him. I don't know about any money that you've taken from somebody. I don't know that. I can't report on that. I don't know about the ugly stuff. All I see is what I can see with my own eyes in the media and on your interviews, and none of it has been against him. So what do you say to people that are backlashing and just saying, let's do away with it? Like, does that even matter at this point to leave this case some kind of way, do our part? But we can't do our part when there's so much hatred going on. So, but I think that the people that are not a part of that hatred and not a part of all the mess, then maybe we, continue to do what we're doing in a positive way, because we need to find what's impactful. So that leads me to my question for you, Don. There's a lot of people with backlash at you for coming out saying the things that you're saying. And
okay. So what I'm going to do is, this concludes part 2. Now I'm going to ask y'all, we at 10:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do you want me to continue this tonight, or do you want me waiting until tomorrow? It's up to y'all. If I get more than 10 yeses, I'm going to go with part 3 right after this. Y'all know it only gonna take me 30 seconds and to change the title. So do y'all want me to continue this, or do y'all want me to just wait until tomorrow? I got 1, keep it going. I got 2, yes. Keep it going. Okay. That's not enough. Yes, keep it going. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Queen B said tomorrow. I got 1 tomorrow. I got everything less. Okay. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna end part 2. Give me 30 seconds. I'm gonna come back on with part 3, and we're gonna continue this. All right. And the title of it is the tap dancing, chicken sifting, Dollar General screw job of R. Kelly. And this is part 2. So I'll see y'all in 30, and I mean 30 seconds.
What you gonna do now? Hope you're ready, 'cause I'm really about to put it down. Never be free, you. Tomorrow, but tonight